right, folks, welcome back. Welcome to another episode. And you already seen in the title, today we're going to be making chicken marsala, okay? I'm not going to talk your ear off, so we're going to get right into it. Let's get it. All right, so first we're going to end up taking our chicken. We're going to end up putting it in this bag here, and we're going to pound this out. What I like to do is, I like to just take a little bit of olive oil, put it in there. That way nothing sticks. Okay. Press all that air out. And start just pounding them out. We're probably looking for like a 1/4 inch. Quarter inch thick, I would say. Just want to make it even so that way when you cook it, it cooks evenly. All right, I think we're pretty close to where we want to be at. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken. I'm going to hit it up with a little salt and pepper. If you guys don't know already, I like to keep a little container on the side of my stove. Has a mixture of kosher salt, and I like to use butcher pepper. You can use whatever pepper you want. They have different kinds out there, but this is what I like to use. A little bit of olive oil in here. Rub that in. Not very much, just enough for the stick. Okay. Gonna season both sides. I got some flour over here. Take my flour, and I'm gonna add in some garlic powder, probably like about a teaspoon. Smoked paprika, same teaspoon as well. I just want to stir that up. Okay. We're not going to add any salt and pepper to this because you just see me season this chicken with that. Okay. We'll turn our skillet on. Take our chicken. You want to really press and make sure you're getting that flour on the chicken. Okay. Take a little piece. Looks like we got it all covered. Same way on this side. You want to make sure you're getting the sides as well. Okay. Now we're going to add a little bit of oil to our pan. Let that heat up. Once you put your chicken in there, you're going to want to hear it sizzle, because if you don't, that means that your chicken's not ready to be cooked, or your skillet's not ready for the chicken. So you want to make sure that you heat your pan up in enough time. It varies on your stove or your stove top. Mine usually doesn't take too long. I have a Power Plus burner, so it takes probably less than 2 minutes for it to heat up. You put your hand over top, and you can't hold it there for like any more than 5 seconds, it's ready. Any less, or I would say any more, you want to wait a little bit. I think we're almost there. Okay, once it starts to smoke, that's a sign too. I'm not really looking for that. That's the rule that I like to go by when I'm cooking steak. I'm cooking chicken, this is going to be a little bit more subtle. So, kind of hear that sizzle. That's what we're looking for. Okay? And we're going to do the same with this chicken breast here. Same in the flour. Making sure we're pressing it down. Getting the sides as well. A little peek. And if you don't get all sides, well, if you don't get total coating, you flip it back over, get a little bit more. It's just a light coating you're looking for, nothing real heavy. It's just going to give our chicken that nice color that we're looking for. All right, go ahead and put that in. There we go, that's what we're looking for right there. Now this chicken is going to take anywhere from, I want to say, anywhere from about 10 minutes, maybe 15, about 7 minutes aside, 6 minutes aside. The next step to cooking the chicken marsala is going to be making the sauce. And I would make that in another pan, but you really want the flavor from the chicken to be flavoring your sauce. So that's why I'm not starting them with another pan. So once this cooks, and we get this cooked thoroughly to a temperature of 165 degrees, we'll take it off, put it somewhere to keep warm, and then we'll start our sauce for our chicken marsala. So we'll be back. All right, folks, we got our chicken to an internal temperature of 165 degrees, looking real nice. What we're going to do, we're going to end up taking these off. And we're going to keep them warm while we end up making our sauce. Okay? So, first thing with the sauce you want to do is I got an onion here. Turn our burner off. So I'm going to cut our onion up here. Red onion, sorry about that. Use any onion if you want. I'm using red onion today. I just think it's gonna provide a really good flavor. So we're going to, I'm gonna use that today. So, and what I want to do is, I want to dice this up into small pieces. So. You have to go crazy. All right, so we'll add that in. Cut out the other. Just cooking the onion, it smells good. All right. Not really going to add too much seasoning to this, because this chicken marsala is going to be pretty flavorful on its own. I will add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. Just a pinch. I will add a little bit of olive oil to this. Probably like a tablespoon. Those will saute up real nice. Let them reduce down a little bit. Smells great, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, I don't know if you know, but chicken marsala is actually an Italian dish. Okay, so you can cook a lot of things with this. You can cook noodles, couscous, risotto. Maybe not risotto, huh? That might not be the right thing for that.
No.
Potatoes, that would work. Rice is a perfect thing to cook. That's what I like to cook with my chicken marsala. But today we're just doing the chicken marsala. You can have whatever you want. You can cook whatever you want with it. Just trying to get you guys the recipe, show you how easy this is. And we're halfway home now. We already got our chicken done. These onions are going to end up having a nice saute on them. They're looking good already. Give it a little bit longer, and then we're going to start adding in our chicken marsala. This is the key element that you want to obviously have if you're making chicken marsala. You can't substitute this for anything else. You can't substitute with wine. You have to have the marsala wine. You have to. Pick this up from the store, $3-4. This ain't sponsored, okay, but you got to have the marsala wine, okay? So you want to make sure you pick that up. If you don't already have this in your cupboard, this is a nice go-to. This bottle will probably end up making, I want to say, probably over 10 meals. You're only putting a third of a cup of this in your to make your sauce. So, worth $3. At least for where I got it from. It might be more wherever you guys might be at. So, I think our onions are looking pretty good. So we're going to start adding in chicken marsala here. Like I said, about a third of a cup. You want to add the same amount of chicken stock.
Oh, that smells good.
It comes alive. Yeah, it comes alive. All right. And while that's reducing down, we're going to end up taking our mushrooms. This is another must. Okay? You got to have the mushrooms. This is actually what makes, another thing that makes the chicken marsala taste really good. I've had the one at, what am I thinking? Olive Garden. And theirs is pretty good. They actually do a stuffed chicken marsala, which is really nice. That's really good. Maybe another episode will do that. But you can stuff that with different cheeses, just about anything you want. Prosciutto's a good thing. That's a good thing to stuff it with, but just chicken marsala itself is great. So, in my book, it is. A lot of people don't like mushrooms. I try to dice them up pretty small because my wife's she's not really a mushroom fan. So I try to dice them up as small as I can. Usually I put them in a food processor and blitz them up, but today we're gonna be a little bit chunky. Yeah, she ain't feeling that. So you can't see her face, folks, but trust me.
Not feeling it at all. I'm going to be picking them babies out.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot to pick out.
If they're that big, they're gone.
Alright, we'll dice them up a little bit for her sake. They're not gonna be blitzed like it was in the processor. I personally don't mind the mushrooms, but you have other people in your house, you need to accommodate them. So start adding those in.
Keep cutting smaller.
show I'm trying to do over here. I don't mean to blitz these up by hand.
No, you should add the food processor.
They look pretty good to me. They're not big chunks. Sausage is gonna be so good you won't even notice. Trust me.
Do you have to use the whole container full?
You might as well. You know, I mean, if you're gonna use it for something else, then you hold it back. But they reduced down quite a bit, so I like to use the whole container.
They need to reduce down to invisible.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. At least in this household, it's not gonna happen. Well, we're almost home.
Seafood processor would have been done by now.
It would have been, but if you want to work on your knife skills, this is a perfect time to go ahead and start doing this, okay? So, you want to play it easy? Yeah, you can do the food processor, but we're waiting on this to deglaze anyway. It's looking real good. It's smelling real good, so we got a little bit of time to kill here. So, I'm doing this for you. This is your request.
I didn't know there was mushrooms in there.
Yeah, okay.
Not big ones. What do you mean deglaze?
You deglazing this wine, and what that means is just reducing down the volume of the stock and the Marsala wine. It's just basically infusing the flavors, which is what we want. It's really making that red onion sing like we want it to be.
Now I have visions in my head of a red onion singing. You know, mouth and all.
You got jokes today, huh?
I just like to give him a hard time. Oh my gosh, look at all the mushrooms.
They're gonna cook down. I promise.
Is he guaranteeing me? Look at all them babies in there.
All right, so stir these in. They're really drinking up that sauce, so we're gonna add a little bit more chicken stock in there. I'd probably say it's probably about a third of a cup. Depends how much depends how much mushrooms you put in. You put in the same amount as me, probably want to put that third of a cup in, add a little bit more. Just based on how many mushrooms you want. I actually wanted the whole container, so that's what we're doing today. Okay? Alright, I'm also going to add about a teaspoon of garlic as well. I don't want too much in here. I don't want it to overpower anything.
It's an Italian dish.
Gotta have that,
Gotta
gotta have
the
that garlic in
garlic?
there, huh? Yeah, it smells real good. Let all that marry together. Then we're gonna start adding in our heavy cream. I wouldn't use milk for this because you want it to be really creamy. Some milk seems to break a little bit. I would just go with the heavy whipping cream or whipping cream, whatever one you pick up. We're gonna end up we're going to end up adding probably like a, not very much, maybe a little less than a third of a cup. Just want to get that creamy consistency, what we're looking for. And once we add that in, we're going to put our chicken back in, let that cook a little bit more. It's already cooked all the way to 165 degrees, but let's put the chicken back in. It's going to infuse with all those flavors that we added in here, and then we're going to be ready to go. So you want to bring this up to a boil like we're doing right now, and then go ahead and turn your heat down, because this is going to thicken as it sets. So once we turn our heat down, then we're going to add in our cream. Now, if you guys know, if you're cooking, don't throw your container away. Something I like to do. I learned from a YouTube channel that I watch, Daddy Jack Cooking with the Blues. He says if you put your empty container up there, it helps the walls of the sides of the container. It all comes down because of the heat. So you have a little bit more sitting at the bottom of the container. That way you know that you have all your liquid that you bought. You're using it all. So it's a little trick. Works every time. You can see how that's starting to turn a nice creamy consistency there. That's what we're looking for. Exactly what we're looking for. Okay, let that simmer for a little bit, and we're gonna add the chicken in. All right, folks. Now we got our sauce ready to go. It's thickened up really nice. So we're gonna end up adding in our chicken now. That I said we already had cooked. We were keeping warm. Look at that. That chicken looks great. Add it in. A little bit more. There we go. And I like to just let that cook in there for a little bit. Just to kind of heat the chicken back up. We already had it underneath some foil, but I like to just let that sit in there for an additional minute or two, just to kind of, like I said, heat it up a little bit more. Now comes the ultimate test. Now, like I said, you can use rice with this, noodles, and you can use this sauce to flavor them. And just drizzle that sauce all on top of your, whatever you're using. You're not going to be disappointed, trust me. But, like I said, today, we're just doing a basic chicken marsala. So that way you guys know how to cook it. And looks like we getting to the end here, so now we're going to have to taste test this. Smells great. Let me turn this off because we're good to go. So let's take this out. I'm going to take a little bit of sauce here. Use that right over top. Make sure you're getting the mushrooms that my wife don't like. Make sure those is on there.
This is his plate.
I like to take a little bit of Parmesan cheese and just put it over top, just like that. And that's it, folks. That's what we're doing. That's what you want. You bring that to the table, there ain't nobody that's going to be upset. Trust me about that. That looks great. Well, I stopped teasing you, or teasing myself. Let's try this. Looks great too. Oh, we need this. Man. The flavors. Crazy. What's that? Okay. I'll be with you on what's that. Thanks for watching, folks. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you watching this video. There'll be more to come. And that's it for today, folks. Time to ride out.